Our ABC's Kenneth Moton has been monitoring all things 1 week prior to midterms for us, and he's been listening to the president as well. What did you make of his message, Kenneth?
Part politics, part campaign stop for the president here in Florida, just less than a week or a week away from the midterms. The president attacking Republicans and really working to show the contrast between Democrats and Republicans, saying millions of Americans would lose Social Security and Medicare under a GOP-led Congress. Biden says he's working to lower prescription costs with the help of the Inflation Reduction Act, which allows Medicare to negotiate drug costs, capping costs, lowering insurance premiums for those who get coverage through the Affordable Care Act. However, the president mentioning Florida's own Republican Senator Rick Scott and his plan, the president says, of wanting to put Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security on the chopping block every 5 years. Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. Every year, the White House believes Republican leaders will use these bedrock programs as leverage and refuse to pay and raise the debt limit unless cuts are made to those benefits. When you heard the president's sometimes fiery remarks there, it is obvious what the president is trying to do, being in Florida with a week to go to the midterms, a very crucial state as he tries to get Charlie Crist elected to the governor's office to defeat potential 2024 GOP contender Ron DeSantis, and he's also trying to get Val Demings elected to unseat GOP Senator Marco Rubio. And so obviously what the president was trying to do there, very obvious when you've got so many retirees living there in Florida, and the president trying to say that if you elect these Republicans to Congress and the GOP gets control of either chamber or both chambers of Congress, your Medicare, those bedrock programs could be at risk.
And Kenneth, you know, this is a tough midterms for the Democrats, just given the economy and the president's own approval rating. So it's a particularly tough midterms for the president. That's also typical. Midterms, a referendum on the party in power, particularly the president in power. But this is a campaign stuff that we haven't seen him do much. In part, that's a strategy. In part, there are a lot of Democrats who don't really want to stand next to Joe Biden right now. I mean, it does seem that way. He's gone to places and not others. And, you know, he says he's willing to do whatever he wants. And his staff has said he doesn't do rallies because they don't think rallies work in the midterms. But it's clear that this is a very difficult road for him to walk, given where his approval ratings are, given what the economy is. The message that he has is essentially stay the course. The Republicans would be worse.
And it's the reason, Terry, you saw former President Obama mostly on the campaign trail, especially in the last week or two, giving that closing argument. But you've got the president down in Florida today. The White House has tried to downplay, the president is trying to downplay you know, the lack of him being out on the road in the final days before the midterms. But when you see Joe Biden on the trail, you do hear that fiery rhetoric from him. And even what struck me, Terry, and I'm sure you and Kira heard it, was that very last thing that he said when he typically says, "God bless, you know, the United States of America." And he said, and hopefully some enlightenment for the Republicans as well. I don't think I've heard that from the president before, and typically they say the same lines over and over again, but this sounds like a new one in these final days before the midterms.
All right, Kenneth Moton, appreciate you staying with us and following his remarks. Of course, we'll be taking so many of these live events.
In both parties.
That's right. That's right. Balance it out a week away from midterms.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.